How to install it. So this is what your Tacamo conversion kit is going to look like in the box. Once again, this is the MK5 or the Tacamo conversion kit for A5 Tippmann A5 paintball markers. So we're just going to go ahead and open up the box here. You can see it comes with a nice diagram. You do not get directions. You only get a diagram. Kind of lame on the part of Tacamo, or actually Rap 4. But, you know, the installation is pretty straightforward, and this video is going to show you how to do it better than any manual would. So, moving on. The box comes with a single magazine. You have your two body halves, which are actually held together by receiver screws. I would suggest using these so you can save your Tippmann ones if you ever want to go back. They're actually the same size, they're interchangeable, except for the fact that these are metric receiver screws, whereas on the A5, they're standard. So you are going to need two separate Allen key sets for this installation. We also have a new caulking rod, which I was pleasantly surprised by. We'll go into a little more detail on it later, but it's just an improved design over Tippmann's. It works really, really nicely. The mag well, and then a bag of a few parts. We have a longer push pin, the cover for the hopper feed, and then you have another little screw in there as well. So, now that you've seen everything that's in the box, I'm going to take my A5 here, and I'm just going to start ripping it apart. One of the things that you're going to be able to keep completely together during this installation is the grip frame and the braided hose line, as well as the tombstone adapter, are going to be able to stay completely intact with each other. So I'm going to remove these push pins, remove the grip frame, as well as the tombstone adapter. I'm going to remove this front grip, remove all of the receiver screws, and pull apart the receiver half, and then we're going to continue on with the installation. So let's just get started on taking apart this A5. So currently, this is everything that I have removed. I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. I'm sure all of you guys already know how to remove it, and we have many other videos showing how to do these things. Remove the cyclone feed. That's as easy as just removing the bolt that's here and then pulling it off and unscrewing the banjo fitting. Remove the grip frame and tombstone adapter. That's just two push pins and then actually a third push pin right there, and you'll be able to pop it right off, pull the tombstone out. The 2011 A5s, they no longer come with the tombstone latch. If you have an older version, there's a latch right here. You just have to pull on that to remove it. Remove the barrel. Remove this new front grip here. That's just two screws, one here, one in there. Pull it right out. And then all that I have left is to remove all of these receiver screws right here and actually pull the marker apart. So let's get all of this junk out of my way. And I'm going to start removing all of these receiver screws. So I've removed these four receiver screws, which were here, 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 and I got one more to remove right here, so we're just going to remove that one. Remove that front sight. And now we get to actually start on getting into the meat of the installation here. You do want to make sure that all of your receiver bolts that came originally with the marker you're keeping together. You can tell the difference between the ones that came with the Tacamo kit and the A5. We'll go into that in a little bit, but for right now, let's actually open up the marker. And we're going to take our Tacamo conversion kit here, and of course I need to remove the receiver bolts for this conversion kit as well. So I'm going to be removing those really shortly. Same deal, they go in the same places, so I just need to remove this one, this one, this one, and that one, and I'll be able to pull that apart, and you're going to be able to see just how similar these two are, but there are some subtle differences that you'll want to pay attention to, and we'll show you how to install it. So this does require a metric set of Allen keys. I'm just going to go ahead and get the one that I need and start removing these. Now I have all those receiver screws removed, and you know, just for storing purposes, once you have this installed, I would take all of your standard receiver screws that you've removed and put them together with the receiver halves, just to make sure you don't lose anything, and they're always going to be together with the right receiver halves. So we pull this apart, and you can just see how similar it is to the inside of the A5 itself. What you really want to do is just start transferring all the items over. I showed you that we did get a new caulking handle, so I can go ahead and adhesive this. Barrel adapter, go ahead and put that in the same spot. I'm going to take my entire power tube, rear bolt, and front bolt assembly and transfer it over as easily as that. Make sure that our power tube is all the way forward. The weird one, as you can see, is the ball detent normally sits right there on the regular A5. In the Tacamo conversion kit, it's actually going to be going the opposite way. You're going to put it above the front bolt rather than below it. So we just need to stuff that in there. And we have all of the internals completely switched over, so I can go ahead and actually take my Tacamo kit right here, and actually, before I forget, I should probably take that new caulking handle and actually install that. So to install this, you need to just push out the silver portion a little bit, put it in the slot in the front there, go ahead and pull the handle backwards, and you just want to make sure that there's a little notch inside of the silver portion right here. You want to rotate it so it matches up with the notch in the receiver right there. I'm going to go ahead and just bring this closely to you so you can see. You can probably see the notch from there. I have it in the correct spot. Everything just about slid out, so I'm going to put that down. Alright, once again, everything correctly installed. Ball detent is in there, caulking handle is in there. I can take my receiver half and just plop it right on top there. Everything fits nicely. I'm going to put a couple of receiver screws in here, and you do want to get the ones that actually came with your Tacamo conversion kit and start installing them. Okay, so with that one receiver screw in currently, there's just some other pieces that I'm going to need to install. The front sight goes in the same way as it did on your standard A5. Just go ahead and slide that bad boy right in there. Get your receiver screw and tighten it down. Alright. And there's actually a special screw that goes in right here. It's made for the mag well itself. You can see that it's smooth most of the way, and then there's threads on the bottom. So you want to make sure that that goes in this spot right here specifically. Tighten that down. Before I get everything too tight, I want to just take my rear sight and get that in there. And we just can move right along and keep putting in the receiver screws. So we almost have it fully installed. We just got a couple more steps here. First thing I want to do is get my grip frame and install that. You do need to actually slide the tombstone adapter in first, and it won't go in all the way unless your power tube is all the way in the forward position. If it's not going to fit in. You just need to take an Allen key or a pen or something and go into the bottom and slide it forward. Do not go in through the back, because then you'll be pushing your rear bolt into the valve, which will then push all the parts of the valve out of place, and you just don't want to deal with having to rebuild your valve. It's time consuming, and a lot of people have issues doing it. So now that we have the tombstone adapter installed, I can go ahead and slide the grip frame up like I would on my regular standard A5. Slide the push pin in there. Now that we have the tombstone adapter and grip frame installed, it's almost time to install the mag well, but I need to flip the marker over really quickly, and you can see that there's a nice hole right there where you can see all the way through the hole. Let's go ahead and go into our little baggie of parts again and install this little cover, which is as easy as just pushing it right in, and the mag well itself is going to make sure that holds its place really nicely. One more item that we need to install for the mag well is the last item in that little parts bag is this special screw, which just screws in right there, and it's just another little portion of keeping the marker stable and holding it together. It doesn't really serve any purpose other than just providing it to be more secure. So we have that installed, and it's time to install the mag well. This is the mag well right here, and you can see that there's actually a small notch right about there. That goes with the special screw that we were talking about earlier that we installed right here. You just want to go ahead and push that in until you hear a snap. Slide it up, and you'll be good to go. We do need to grab a long push pin, which also came in that baggie, like so, because now it is actually in the way of the tombstone push pin, and that extra space makes it a little longer. So Rapport did provide a longer push pin. You just slide that right in, and now that mag well is 100% secure. Last but not least, we just need to take our mainspring and guide pin, as well as our back cap, and install them both. So just go ahead and push this in through the back here. Grab your back cap, and it's going to be a little tight. You just need to push in with a little bit of elbow grease. It will break in over time. Grab your push pins, and like a regular A5, just slide them right in.